Hi, I'm Quincas and I'm a synth DIY guy. Today I'm reviewing a very unique and unusual kit, the Leaf Audio Microphonic Soundbox, an acoustic experimental instrument comprised of a resonant wooden box fitted with 2 metal rods, 3 springs of varying lengths, a carbon fiber kalimba, and a sandpaper surface, all of which you can play in a variety of ways. It has 2 contact microphones inside, as well as an extremely high-quality battery-powered preamp, with 2 channels, high gain and very low noise. It also has an external input, which disables one of the internal microphones, so you can use your own contact mic with the internal preamp. This is not only a super fun toy to play with, but also a very useful instrument, which I have already used in film scoring to create eerie textures and atmospheres for suspenseful moments. Let's take a look at the box I got from Exploding Shed in Germany. They're the sister company of Leaf Audio. Please note that the cables and the CD are not included in the Soundbox kit. So let's see all the stuff that came in the box Leaf Audio sent me for the Microphonic Soundbox. So these were wrapped in paper. I've already unwrapped them. It's all the wood that goes into building the box. So you have this is the front and back, right? And there's some shielding here that you need to cut out the holes. This is the back, the output jack. This is the switch. Nice. Everything seems to be cut and engraved by laser. You can see the wood is kind of burnt around all of the cuts. These are the sides. This is the bottom. This is where the battery goes. The top. And this is the wood block, which actually goes on top like this. The 2 poles. That's these 2 things right here. They're gonna go in these 2 holes right here. And the other holes are for mounting the springs. This is where the kalimba goes. And this is where the sandpaper goes. So cool. But we're actually going to start by building the electronics. Let's take a look at what comes in this little bag right here. So here's the battery compartment. I imagine they chose operation with battery because that'll reduce the risk of noise coming from the mains. So in this baggie you get 2 syringes with wood glue. And these guys are really thorough. It looks like some cannula for applying the wood glue also come in here. Like the needle, guys and girls. Do not inject this in your veins, okay? I don't think it's gonna be very good for your health. This is supposed to be used only for gluing wood, okay? Alright, let's see what else comes in here. These are a diode and some capacitors. So let's set aside all of the electronic components because those we're gonna use right now. This is the op amp TC7660H, which is probably responsible for the amplification, and this is supposed to be a very nice quiet preamp on here, so excited about that. These are wood screws, so we can put these along with the wood components. Here we go. Here's some resistors and capacitors. Here's some more resistors, LED, more resistors, capacitor, resistor. Everything in its own little bag. Here's some more mounting screws for stuff. We can set those aside. These are the pots and the knobs, which we'll also set aside for now. And this is the battery connector. Yeah, this goes on the PCB, so let's leave it here. These are the feet, rubber feet for the box. Over there, this is the slide switch, the power switch. These are the actual piezo microphones, also the TRS connectors, which are input and output of the box. They'll stay here too. The rubber band is for the wood box assembly, so I'm gonna set the rubber band aside too. But we will keep the capacitors in here because these are low ESR Panasonic capacitors. the springs and the kalimba bass. This, I've seen the videos. These guys made excellent videos about every little step of the assembly of the wooden box. And they use these to stick the vibrating carbon fiber tongues into the kalimba assembly. I thought that they were improvising and that I was going to have to find one of these myself, but no, they actually included. These guys are really thorough. Pretty much everything you need is in this bag right here. Here's the PCB. There's a tiny little IC, a little SMD IC in there, I see. I'm told to be very careful with ESD. And I think that they give you a bracelet. Look at this. I'm pretty sure this is an ESD bracelet. I have one, but it's kind of cool that they give you one. This is the part that you wrap around your wrist. And then this part right here is supposed to go, you're supposed to tape it on to some kind of grounded surface. So you unwrap the adhesive and wrap adhesive around your wrist. Unroll the rest of the band and remove liner from the copper tape. Attach copper tape to electrically grounded metal frame surface equipment. I have my own, so I'm just going to put this one away for a rainy day and use mine. So this is the sandpaper pad that you can use to put little rocks on there and make noise with. It already comes with some adhesive in the back. And here's some more sandpaper. These are actually mostly for sanding the carbon, which are these guys right here. These are the carbon fiber that gets used for the kalimba. And the way they come, they're very kind of sharp and have like surfaces that sort of cut. So we're supposed to sand these down to make it very smooth and rounded. I know all this because I've seen the videos, and like I was saying, the videos are extremely in-depth and thorough with all of the instructions you need to assemble the box. So I'm not going to get down to too much detail about that. You're just going to see me putting the box together in a time lapse. These are for fixing the piezo's. It's double stick tape. Also these, so I don't know why they give me round ones and straight ones. Guess I'll find that out. And here's some more screws. Dome head, safety nut. These are for mounting the springs onto the box. Alright, so that's everything that comes in this little baggie. It looks like it's pretty much everything you could possibly need. Let's start by assembling our circuit PCB. So I'm gonna go get my ESD bracelet. So this is my own ESD bracelet. I have it grounded to the big metal frame of my window, which I know is grounded because when I'm staticky and I touch it, sparks fly. So let's open this package up. So I see there's a couple of ICs already in here, already installed on the PCB. Now, there are two separate bits to this PCB. The two PCBs from each other. There we go. This one is actually for the input jack. This gets mounted kind of sideways. Okay, and this is the main PCB right here. Now, this little IC, where does it go? Yeah, I think this is a spare. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to show you guys and girls these nice cables that Leaf Audio sent me. This one is like a regular guitar cable. Looks like the tips are gold plated. The connectors are extremely solid, feeling metal, high quality. And the wire is very flexible, silicone, and thin and light. Really nice for when you're traveling. And they also sent me two more cables. This one is just like straight up Eurorack mini plug to mini plug, and again really high quality connectors and really nice rubberized wire that doesn't seem to kink at all. This one's nice and long, and here's another one which is the same but it's hybrid of the two connectors. So this one would actually be really good to plug my microphonic soundbox to my Eurorack system. So yeah, really nice cables from Leaf Audio. Thanks guys.
The preamp is a simple build with very few parts. The SMD chips come pre-soldered, so you only have to worry about the through-hole components. As usual, I like to start with the low-profile components, such as resistors and diodes. Note that the PCB holes are very tight. I found that I had to sometimes use pliers to pull on the component legs on the other side of the PCB. Since the holes were so tight and the PCB is so small, I soldered everything from the back side this time. Following the resistors and diodes, I placed the IC socket and the capacitors. After that, I prepared the input jack daughter board. Then I installed the potentiometers and the LED, making sure they would fit through the holes in the box first. I then soldered on the white header for power. The piezo elements go with special cables that clip onto the PCB instead of getting soldered. This allows them to swivel without the risk of breaking the wires. Next comes the wiring. I stripped and tinned some wires, then made the connection from the main PCB to the output jack that goes on the back. I also made the battery connections by clipping the battery holder cables and soldering on the power switch, using some shrink tube to keep everything insulated. It's very important to keep the unit powered down when not in use, otherwise your batteries will run out quickly. And that's it. Now let's set the electronics assembly aside while we build the box itself. I won't go into too much detail here. Make sure you watch the little videos Leaf Audio made for each step if you're going to build one of these. First, I labeled the wooden parts with a pencil to avoid mistakes. You can have the top in two different ways, depending if you want the kalimba to the right or the left of the sandpaper. I chose to have it on the left. Don't glue the bottom on yet. You need to get the electronics in there before you do that. The elastic band and some scotch tape will help clamp the box together while the glue dries. Then I sanded down the box as best I could. Make sure you use only one of the red sandpaper sheets, or you will have trouble with the kalimba tongues later. Those use one of the red sheets as well as the finer white sandpaper. I then prepared my kalimba tongues. Use gloves and a mask, as the carbon fiber dust is not super healthy for you. Next, I assembled the solid block onto the box. Then I prepared the springs, followed by the kalimba assembly. Use the included tie wrap to help you push the tongues through and tune your kalimba. I then assembled the springs. It can be difficult to stretch the spring, hold the box in place, and screw it on, so I used my third alien hand to help me with this. Finally, I sticked on the sandpaper pad. Before putting on the metal rods, I mounted all of the electronics inside, as the rods would make it difficult to have the box upside down. I also placed the bottom of the box with its rubber feet and mounted the battery compartment to it, but did not glue it on yet. I'll glue it on after a few months of usage, once I know for sure there are no vibrating parts that need to be accommodated inside. I used scotch tape to hold the bottom in place in the meantime. Finally, I screwed on the metal rods and voila! My daughter Nina tested it for me.
Sí, tócalo. Dice.
Now check out the piece I did to demo it. I'm using a Boss loop pedal, as well as the Erica Pico DSP module in granular delay mode, as a send effect out of the hex mix. The joystick controls the delay time and feedback, and my electric upright bass is going into the external input of the Microphonic Soundbox. I hope you like it. If you do, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and join my Patreon. See you soon and stay noisy.